Love you, my brother. Bonsoir, mon amis. Pardon-moi, parler français petit terrible. It's like, and that extends to my French. That's about it. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm from America, so I only speak one language. I'm from Texas, I don't speak it very well. But I make up for it by speaking really fast and loud, so I heard that helps. It's like, so this is, oh, where's the slide? I see slides. I don't see slides there. There we go. This is usually my legal disclaimer moment where I talk to you and tell you about, like, you know, when I'm robbing people or saying something bad and you feel bad, you got to remember the kittens. This is a different legal disclaimer because this is not a legal disclaimer. This is seriously, this is not a talk that I like giving. This is a talk that I would rather have not given. This is a talk that has gotten me into some trouble. And so basically what this is saying, it's like, hey, if we disagree on some of these things, it's like, that's okay. That's what we're supposed to do, okay? If my statements that I'm going to be saying, it's like upset you and make you feel mad or feel like you're being attacked, you probably are, because I think you're a horrible person. It's like, and that's just all there is to it. And we can talk about that later too. Catch me outside. We'll talk about that. It's like, because this is a talk that I think needs to be said. And it's like, and I hate being the one to give it. It's like, this is the Imposter's Guide to Hacking with demos. Notice one important thing. My title is Hacker, Helper, Human. I don't have any corporate logos. I'm not even wearing my typical DEF CON shirt. It's like, because this is just on me. I've been told by friends and employers not to give this talk. They're like, no, Jayson. It's like, you mean well, sit down. It's like, nope. It's like, I have no problem saying the things that I'm going to say, but I'm the only one that is responsible for what I'm saying. So I stand by what I say, and I stand by this talk. And so if you want to bring some hate and some shade, direct it this way. I'm right here. Who am I? Doesn't matter. A question I also often ask myself, how can a poser like me still manage to successfully secure and rob banks and enterprises on 5 continents for over 25 years and be so bad at Kali Linux and Metasploit and Hack5 scripts and programming? Yeah, I don't believe me either. I mean, literally, I tried learning Python with my 12-year-old, with learning Python with Minecraft. The only thing I learned during those sessions is I suck at Python and Minecraft. Yay me. That was a real big ego booster. It's like having a 12-year-old go like, it's okay, Daddy. Like, I will show you. It's this code right here. I'm like, okay, thanks. It's like, so how do I do this stuff? And I love these comments. Oh my gosh. Your work experience is pathetic, and you're one of a con man. Con man? I'm a social engineer. That's part of the job description. So yeah, agreed. And it's like, bruh, you're a fake fraud and a BSer. Your LinkedIn shows nothing but fake up companies created out of thin air, and I know what it looks like to see someone barely able to keep up with today's world. Retire now, you effing dinosaur. First of all, I can't help it. I didn't name TrueSec. I didn't name Pony Express. They did. It's like, they were silly enough and not foresighted enough to like actually let me choose my name titles. So yes, they did let me call myself the Chief Chaos Officer and the InfoSec Ranger, whatever that was, okay? It's like, that's just because I'm 12, okay? Don't judge the company. It's like, and also it's like, I'm a dinosaur. Yes, I'm old. But one of the things I think people forget, is with the stuff that I've gone through, that should be a warning to you. Because I'm still here, and trust me, people have tried and failed. So I don't know why you acting like that's something bad. It's like, and then this next one, I feel like Jayson Street is a fraud who's about to be exposed for being too noob to do the AppSec. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. Have you seen me on YouTube? My whole talks are nothing about me being a fraud. What? Get with the program. Pay attention. I literally did a talk 1 year that was nothing but covering my fails. And I don't mean like the cool, sexy fails like, oh, I left an orange out and I discovered penicillin. No, I'm talking about, oh, yeah, I totally screwed up. That's the reason why the Titanic's on the ocean floor now. Don't do what I did. That's what I did. So it's like, this stuff means nothing to me, but I need to show and prove because I'm a hacker. I've got to prove it, because it's like I thought, if I just wore the hoodie and I had all the cool, silly things, but y'all need more. So let's go with a little bit more. Here's a couple examples. I attack people not via the network or programming because we've established that. I attack people using their kindness, using my hearing aids. Those are actually my real $4,000 hearing aids that I got from a settlement when I lost my hearing aids. I lost my hearing in a car wreck. Just a word of advice, do not listen to rap music at full volume with the windows up and have your airbag deploy. That is not a good thing. It's like airbags deploy at 170 decibels or more, which was bad for me. I actually use my AirPod Pros. When you see me with my AirPod Pros on, it's like they're actually my hearing aids. The only reason I use these hearing aids is to rob people. Because I take an OMG cable, seen at the bottom, or the USB data blocker, which is another MG product, and I go up to someone, usually a receptionist or an assistant or someone like that, and I'm in a suit, looking old and frail, like a businessman. And I'm like, hello, can you help me? I'm about to go to a meeting, and my hearing aids are running out of battery. Can you help me charge my hearing aids so I can hear in the meeting? It's like, I'm so sorry. It's like, and it can't go in the plug on there's like too much voltage. Can I plug it into your computer? What kind of monster's not going to let me charge my hearing aids? The one doing the good job. That's who. So what was my hack? I bought the OMG cables, downloaded the hack file script, changed it around a little bit, edited it in Notepad, and I plugged it into a device and then just talked someone into doing it. Does that make me a hacker? I don't know. But how about this one? I also attack my curiosity. It's like, why should I do all the work of trying to bring a malware into a company when I can get the employee to do it for me? So what I do is I love flying my drones. Those are two of them right there. You can tell the one on the left has seen some things. And one of the things, and I have my friend here, Philippe, those French names. Oh, wait, sorry. It's like my friend Titon, it's like he's a great programmer. He is one of the scariest hackers you've never heard about. It's ridiculous. I was on a job with that man, and we literally went to an engagement. Like, he would show up in the morning. He got stuck in an office, and it's like, and then by the end of the day, or actually by noon, it's like I would be like, oh, yeah, I'm having fun. I'm going in. And he's like, I got domain admin already. I'm like, okay, scary man. But also very nice, very wonderful, and very helpful because I had an idea. I love my drone, and I've been hearing about all this drone hacking, and I was like, well, not technical enough for that. So what else can I do with a drone? Because I think they're cool. Well, I happen to have downloaded a program off the internet, which is, legit safe, that hacked my drone so it disregards no-fly zones and height restrictions. So that's always fun. I've got some great footage of some great places I should not have published out online, but I don't care. And one of the things I thought about was like, Philippe, can you make an executable that looks like an MOV file or an MP4 file and then work and execute off an SD card? And he's like, no problem. And I'm like, yay, that's awesome. It's like, so what I do with my drone for drone hacking is I crash it. That's it. That's the attack. I fly my drone around 7:30 to 8:30 at night to the security guard booth, if it's there, or the front door of the lobby. And I wait. And then security, and this engagement was amazing. Security comes out. They see the drone, and what do? This is sus. What's going on here? What were they filming? We got to find out. So they take it in to their security office, and he's like, we got to find out what's on there. Who's doing this? Oh, it's got a USB-C port. Let's plug it in. They see two files on the drive. One is a DOCX file, because it's Microsoft. That's got to be harmless. And it says pilot information and drone number. Yeah, let's open that one. And the second one is the DJI.001.MOV file. And they're like, let's see where he started, where he took off from. It's like in what he was looking at. And when you do that, or you open up the document, it doesn't matter which one, it opens up Rick Astley rickrolling you, because still the best security awareness tool ever invented by man, or woman or human, is the Rick Astley rickrolling video. And then, I like that one person's already got in his head. Sorry for that little earworm. But then after you close out the video, it shows the little prompt, you have been pwned. Where was my hack? I didn't even create the files. I had to get someone else to do that for me. I had to phone a friend. It's like, but I'm still calling myself a hacker. Now here's another one. I attack my routine. Like humans that go around their business, that go around their job, and they do the same thing, same over. That's one of the things that gets people. It's the routine. So when I call into help desk, I try to mix it up just enough. It's like to be a little different and to get what I need done. And so what I use is a program that was given to me by the company to use. It's like, and I use YouTube. It's like YouTube has more than videos, they have sounds. And I have a playlist. I mean, it's not like, my Taylor Swift playlist, which is awesome. Don't, I'm in that era, leave me alone. It's like, but no, it's like, it's got like hospital sounds, it's got club sounds, it's got office sounds, it's got babies screaming, babies crying. What monster records 12 hours of babies crying? That's horrible. I still use it, but that's horrible. But you get all these sounds, and so I have like this little playlist that I can play in the background for authenticity, or for like just trying to get that impetus for that person to do what I need them to do. And for this, I actually do have a demo. We're going to listen to 2 of the calls and hear how I, rob people over the phone.
This back to the cat dog temp password user. You don't have access to your email, right?
Not right now, not until I get everything back up. I mean, the doctor said that the chemo was going to mess with my memory, but I just didn't know it was going to be this bad.
I got you. I apologize about that. I'm sure we can get this figured out for you.
I do appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Anything else we can do for you?
That'll be it. That's all I needed, right?
Now, before you go, like, Jayson, that's horrible, okay? One, remember the kittens. And I've had cancer before, so I'm not appropriating, okay? It's like, but I just love the way that the guy just apologized. It's like, afterwards, like, yeah, that chemo was just like really bad. Now, one of the things that I do differently, because I don't do red teaming, I do security awareness engagements. So there's always stipulated before I start the contract, I will get caught. I have done a lot of things to make sure that the employee would catch me, okay? Some of it was really sad, but I got them to catch me. And on this engagement, for the vishing, they were like, well, how are we going to get you to, like, make sure you get caught? Oh, we want you to break into this woman's account. Okay, I can do that. It's like, I didn't do it that way. I didn't think I would be convincing enough. So what I did was, during my research and recon of her, I realized that she works for her husband's insurance company thing that they were doing. So I'm like, okay, let's try to make this work. Now, it's funny because the guy who actually is the person I'm impersonating is in his 40s. But for some reason, I thought it'd be better if an 80-year-old called. So now we're going to listen to the next call.
I'm giving her an account or two to make her feel, like she's working and pulling her own and stuff. I know it's that nepotism stuff, but it's like it's not a bad thing.
I'm working with security on this to see what we can do, at least for your wife's account. That being said, I still want you to try and log into VMware and see if you can find that file anywhere in the shared drive. If it's in the S drive, you would have access.
All right, where's the VMware?
Do you see a green and white cloud icon on there?
The cloud's blue. It's a OneDrive.
Not that. We want VMware Horizon. Is there a search bar that you can see anywhere where you can type in VMware Horizon?
The search bar. Where's that? Is that on on the browser, like Google? You want me to Google it?
No. So on the very bottom of the screen, there should be like a box that has like a magnifying glass on it. Do you happen to see that?
Yeah. The magnifying glass. I see that.
Yeah. Click on that, and I want you to type in VMware in that.
VMware. Okay.
Open that up.
It's not show. It's showing me a website. I could have done that in the Google.
Okay, so we don't want the Google. We want the actual VMware. It should be a green and white cloud icon. If you don't see that,
no.
Now, one of the best things about that call, besides it was hilarious, it lasted 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I complained. My wife, I don't know if you could hear the background of the hospital noises and the EKG going beep, beep, beep. My wife fell down my son-in-law's stairs over the holidays in the winter because he didn't de-ice the stairs. And this is not the first time he's ruined holidays. It's like he burned the turkey once. What kind of grown man burns a turkey? It's like, and so 40 minutes he was on this call, and I had to get this file, but my wife was in the hospital. She had a broken jaw and hip, and it's like it was on her account. 40 minutes. He was courteous. He was helpful. He was understanding, empathetic, kind, and he did not deviate from company policy. He did not reset the password. He did not let me get into the account, and he was nice during the impatient, oh my gosh, patience of a saint. And he did not do the wrong thing. And if you're a red teamer or on the offensive side and you're not celebrating your client's wins, you suck. because that's your job. Your job's not there to break stuff. Your job's not there to find vulnerabilities. Your job's to validate their security. Your job is there to make them better and report when they can make improvements. It was an amazing, amazing engagement. It's like, and he was like the top one. That was a great call because he did the right thing. No matter how persuasive, no matter what I was throwing at him, and oh my gosh, I threw the kitchen sink. Did not deviate from security policy. So does that make me a hacker? That's one of the things that gets me, is that people, when I travel and I go to all these places, I go to these conferences, I still get people that look at me like I'm somebody. They look at me like they feel like they're hesitant to come up and talk to me because I'm Jayson E Street. And I'm like, I'm like you. This stage means nothing, people. My social media is the A reel. Trust me, you don't want to look at the B reel. It's a dumpster fire in there. My life is so far from, it's not even funny. I go through a lot of problems. I'm having a lot of problems right now, but that's not what people want to see. So we have this mythos, and we have this person that we put up. I love heights. I have jumped out of perfectly working planes, and it was just like peaceful. I loved it. I almost died peeing off a cliff in Bulgaria because I didn't have that fear that you're supposed to have when you're close to the edge of the cliff. My bad. It's like, I don't have that. But I promise you, the one height that frightens me the most is being on a pedestal, because I'm going to fall. Stop putting people that are on this stage into a different class or a different, like, oh, I need to be like them. No, you need to be better. You need to be you. That's who we're competing against, just us. I just have to be better than I was yesterday. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. I don't care what O-Day dropped. I don't care what sick research this person was working on. It doesn't effing matter. That's not you. You do you, boo. Come on. Work it and be proud of what you're accomplishing. Every single one of you could be on this stage and give a talk. And I believe that in my core. And it frustrates me sometimes when I see all these people, when I talk about to them out in the area, and they're like, oh yeah, but I don't want to give a talk. It's like, well, I mean, I'm doing some work with InMap, but it's like there's so many InMap talks. No. Stop gatekeeping yourself. Trust me, there's a lot of other people that'll do that for you. You don't need to do it yourself. Because the key thing is, it doesn't matter how many InMap talks there are. The talk you give could be presented in such a way that it responds to certain people who had never clicked before. And that's what it's about. That is what it's about. Stop thinking because I've got a Twitter profile or that you've seen me on YouTube or seen me on a television show that I'm something special. I'm not. I'm a hacker who loves coming to conferences, and the least amount of time that I have fun is here because I'm just going blah, 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 blah to y'all. No one's talking to me. I'm selfish AF. You know, it's like I want to hear conversations. I want to hear what other people are talking about. That's why I'm here. So don't do that. All these people that you see here, I could have chosen another 1,000 just like them. But you don't know them very well. You may not know that much about them because they don't have the same following. Doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be on this stage. It doesn't mean that they're not doing amazing work. And all of those are people are doing amazing work in our community and in life. I mean, freaking Stefan Gerling, he's a firefighter and hacker. He will hack a yacht. It's like really crazy, and then he'll go and put out a fire. I'm not that cool, okay? It's like I get overheated, it's overstimulated. It's like, no, that's not me. It's like you've got Elizabeth Wharton. She does law. She helps interface between hacking and aviation and law, which is sorely needed in our industry. It's like all these other people have something to offer, and they do something so much more spectacularly better than I do. And they deserve the spotlight just as much. Don't make it because I'm here, that puts me different than any of them or any of you. Any person you see on this stage, and I've seen some speakers that have all that kind of attitude, like I'm a speaker, and I'm like, okay, what? I mean, everybody gets the cookies, they're free, go get one. Don't let them get away with that crap. There are no rock stars in this industry. There are people that are just doing the work and trying to share what they know and trying to learn from others. That's who you want to talk to. That's who you want to listen to. And also, don't mistake opportunity for excellence. People think that's like, oh, well, you've done all this stuff. Yeah, I have been blessed, and it's like in my life is like totally, trust me, I don't know how I got here. But I do not forget the fact that there are plenty of other people who didn't get that opportunities that I got. There's in the 1800s, the director of Harvard Observatory was often frustrated with his staff and supposedly said, my Scottish maid could do better, which he did as an insult because, she was a woman and a maid. It's like, so he decided to hire her to shame the other professors because, it's like woman. It's like to run the team for decades, classified thousands of stars and discovered white dwarfs in the Horsehead Nebula because she was given that opportunity. This gentleman right here, there's a whole movie about him, William, I'm not going to even try, who literally created the first drinking well in his village using solar power that he taught himself how to use and created windmills for energy for his village. You need to understand, it's great that you're here. It's great that you have the career or the path that you're going on. But remember, there are people who could solve cancer. People who could come up with the newest quantum physical whatever device. And they're never going to do it because they're stripping ships on the coast of Africa. Or they're tending a field in Mumbai. They're never going to get that opportunity. So yes, while you're here, be thankful for it, but understand that was that opportunity that you were given. And I don't want to hammer home about what makes a hacker. I don't have the time. I'm going to go long anyway. I apologize in advance. Sorry, you know how I am. That's why they put me here at last. They know me well. It's like, so if you want, watch that video. That talks about what being a hacker is. But now comes to one of my favorite demos right now. I'm going to show you a live social engineering Trojan horse attack. You're like, what is that, Jason? That's what we've been in right now. I wanted to give this talk, but the problem is you got to have a hacking talk. You got to be a hacker talk. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to rant and scream at people about what's going on. So I made a Trojan horse. I said, oh, here's my talk. Look at all the hacking. I got like OMG cables, and I got vishing demos and all of that. Watch that. Let's come to the real part of it. Mr. Rogers, does everybody know who Mr. Rogers is? An amazing, wonderful human being. It's like, and he did a children's television show. It's like, and Netflix is actually carrying his stuff now, so you should watch it. He is literally amazing. He was a hacker. And I'm going to explain to you through this talk, because this is what the main talk is about how Mr. Rogers is a hacker. Trust me, it makes sense in my head and by the end of it. Now, the other thing is, that's not supposed to happen. There we go. There's always something. There we go. Being a hacker is more than Metasploit. Being a hacker also means having the courage to speak out when you see something broken, plus the hacker mindset to go about fixing it and making it better for everyone. Hacking has nothing to do with computers. Nikola Tesla hacked with electricity. Hedley Lamar, she hacked with radio waves. Nothing to do with computers. Hacking is the mindset of seeing things the way society doesn't see it, or saying that this is the way it's got to always be, and then the hacker going, no, we can do better. We can make it do this. Let's try to make it do that. That's what hacking is. Every person born on this planet was born a hacker. Been around a 3-year-old. Why? Why does it do that? Why can't we do that? Who's that? What are they doing? Why do they have to do it that way? Can't we do it this way? I want to go this way, and I want... Hacker. But if you survive the institutionalized educational system and the peer pressure from your family and your peer groups at school, and you still retain that 3-year-old level of curiosity and inspiration and innovation, then congratulations, you're a hacker. Computers are the newest way that we're exploring that. But these two people, they got it. Dan Kaminsky. If you don't know who that amazing, wonderful human being is, it's like Google him with the Googles. It's like he saved the internet by finding a DNS flaw. And if that's all you know about Dan, I'm sorry for you. I feel bad for you. Because what you need to know about Dan is that he was an amazing hacker and human that tried to help others, created a colorblind app to help colorblind people see better and clearer. It's like worked on so many different other projects and literally just helped people in the community. He was known and everything, but he was always approachable. And he was lauded for all the stuff that he did, but he still stayed true to what he wanted and what he believed in and what was right. And then you have Aaron Swartz, a person who also saw a problem and did the right thing. But the right thing isn't always the legal thing. And so he was hounded to death by the U.S. government for believing that information should be free, that people should be able to learn and be educated, and price shouldn't be a barrier for them achieving what they wanted to achieve. And he was not, considered as well-known or well-renowned as Kaminsky. They both did the right thing. They both stayed true to themselves and the hacker spirit. They're both no longer with us, and they're both make us poorer for that knowledge. So I want to get a little bit more into something that I have a problem with, is I want everybody in the audience to close your eyes and imagine what you look like, how you see yourself. And this is one of the things, because this is one of the things that I've come to understand. What you see in your head is who you are. That's really you. I'm never going to see you. Because what you see in your head as you is not what you see in the mirror. That is what you that's who you are. This is your meat robot that you have to pilot. Your consciousness, your spirit, your soul, that's what's piloting this. And if I'm never going to be able to see the pilot of your robot? Why do I give up what paint job you got? Or what your plumbing is? Or what modifications you've had? It's none of my business. I'm talking to the pilot. I'm not talking to the robot. But society and people, we like to be a part of a group. And to be a part of a group is very important. But to be a part of a group means we got to create an other. Because you can't belong to a group if everybody can belong to the group. Where's the fun in that? You got to have the others. And a lot of times when I try to talk about that problem of the others in America, and like especially talk to like, and I hate even saying the word white, because don't call me white. I am not a crayon in a crayon box. Race was created by the people in the Netherlands, to feel better about owning other people in the 1700s. I believe in ethnicity. It's like in who we are as a people, which brings us together, not color system. It's like, so, but society still likes to dictate on that. And one of the best ways that I have found to explain, because when you talk to someone in America, you talk about white privilege. Oh my gosh, clutch the pearls. You calling me a racist. I'm like, no, I'm not. But you benefit from white privilege if you're a certain shade. That's all there is to it. That's not your fault. That's the way society has programmed you and programmed society to be. That's the problem. And the best way to explain it is this YouTube video here. This youth pastor lined up all the kids and he said, hey, we're going to race for $100. And everybody's like, and he's like, I'm really going to give you $100. We all start off on this line, but before I say go, I'm going to ask some questions. Very simple. If you came from a 2-parent home, take 2 steps forward. If you never had to worry about where your next meal was coming from, take 2 steps forward. If you never had to help your family with money or get a job to help support your family, take 2 steps forward. And guess what? All of a sudden, it was very obvious that a certain demographic was at the back of the race, and another demographic was to the front. And that youth pastor said straight out, he said, look, those questions had nothing to do with you. Not because of who you are, not because of your abilities, not because of what you've done, good or bad. It was just the way, this is how societies dictate, this is what you were born into. You had no control over those questions. But because of it, society has given you a head start. It's not you being a bad person. You just have that head start. So I ask you, if you, in this community, if you had a mentor that you could go to and talk to and help get information on how to get into information security, take 2 steps forward. If you're in this community and you never had to worry about getting into college or getting a certification or studying and being able to study and have the time allotted for that so you could do better and get a better job, take 2 steps forward. Our community is not that equal either, and we need to remember that as well. It's not an attack on the person. It's an acknowledgement of what our society is like right now and how we need to do better. And how do we do it? And I tell people, and I love saying it, because the only reason why I have white male privilege is so I can get on the effing stage and tell you how bad it is. That is the only reason why it should be used, quite frankly. That's it. I know you're waiting for me to be funny again. Sorry, that's going to be a little bit longer. It's like, this other thing that gets me is, and I love this because it's like, I'm not qualified to talk about this issue, but me and every human on this planet are not only qualified, but required to call it out and offer help when we see someone being targeted. We always like to talk about, I am so sick. The only thing worse than a diversity panel at a conference full of white guys is knowing that you just asked a woman to get on the panel just to represent instead of about their research, about the hacks they're doing. And I want to share a story. This is my friend Lindsay. We went to a conference. She has over 20 years of experience. She probably wouldn't want me to admit that. She has as much experience as I do in information security. She was in charge of the security for an international banking system in Africa, for the whole continent of Africa, through Johannesburg, another international company in Hong Kong, and she also was head of cybersecurity for another, an energy company in the Netherlands. She also was really good with the Wi-Fi pineapple and the bash money. She does hacking as well. And she started and helped found the DEF CON group in Hong Kong. She's a hacker. Didn't matter. When we went to the conference, she was the +1 because she was there with me. So she couldn't have any worth. She couldn't have any input. Literally, and I found this out afterwards, thank goodness, because I would have pitched a fit. She was talking to one guy at the conference after she explained to him, like, no, I'm not his girlfriend. It's like, and trying to talk to him. And I walked up, and as soon as I did, he immediately stopped the conversation dead and started talking to me. Totally ignoring her. Like she didn't exist anymore. It doesn't matter who I'm with at a conference. The default assumption is not that they're my girlfriend or my boyfriend or my whatever friend. The default should be they're a hacker at a conference who is trying to learn. Show them some effing respect. Every person that I meet at a conference, I say, so what do you like to hack? I don't make assumptions that they're here because they're a +1. They're a hacker, they're at a hacking conference. And I am so tired. I gave this talk in Germany, a version of this. And that night, a friend of mine called me up and she talked to me about how she was roofied at a party at a conference in the States. And she barely made it to her hotel room and ended up in the emergency room. 2025. So let's do this. If you've never had to worry about getting a friend to walk you back to your hotel room because someone at the conference was giving you the ick, take 2 steps forward. If you never had to make sure your drink was covered at all times, take 2 steps forward. If you never had to make sure there was a chair in front of your hotel door at night, take 2 steps forward. If you never had to watch your tone or what you said to someone who was in your personal space because you were afraid that they could ruin your reputation, they could ruin your career, or they could destroy your life or take it, take 2 steps forward. Stop understanding that it's from your perspective. Start understanding that there are more perspectives than yours. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you more aware of what others are going through. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. And there's another YouTube video that I hate even worse than this one. And yeah, it's like, but you can go see that if you want to talk more about this issue. But also, let's get into this because, you know, I've had people call me a good ally. And I'm like, it's like I try to be someone that tries to help everyone. I don't know how great of an ally I am. It's like, but I try to do what I can. And I try to do my best. And one of the things that people don't realize is the number one rule for an ally is to shut up. Listen to what the people are trying to say. Listen to what their experiences they have. Let them know that they're seen and that they're heard. That's what you do. And then also you amplify the voice of those who don't have your reach or opportunity to speak out. You don't quote retweet. You don't try to take it over. You don't try to like co-opt that movement. You know. You amplify their voices. Betty White had a show in the 1950s, and she had a black tap dancer on her show. Oh my Lord, people lost their crap. They were like, oh, I don't know about this. Her response, live with it. And she gave him more airtime. And she lost her show. It's like Kirk did the first interracial kiss on Star Trek. I don't give him that much credit, okay? He was Kirk. He kissed mostly everybody. He didn't care what color they were, okay? That was just Kirk being Kirk, okay? It's like, but Mr. Rogers, in 1969, when black Americans were prevented from swimming alongside whites, Mr. Rogers decided to invite an Officer Clemens to join him and cool his feet in the pool, a well-known color barrier. He knew exactly what he was doing. And when he created that character, he made that character a police officer, someone of authority, someone who mattered, not a janitor, not a post person, but a police person, someone that kids could look up to. That's who he represented it. That's what Mr. Rogers done. So here's my next demo. Let's do an ally demo. I'm doing a live social engineering privilege escalation attack via remote access. How's that? We'll get to it. Because I've donated 10 minutes of my time, of my talk, for people who don't usually have a voice or are marginalized, not just by gender or skin color, but also because of who they love, who they worship, everything, just the diversity. Because one of the things that makes this community so amazing is we're different. I mean, okay, up to a point. I love going to conferences and hacking conferences, and you see all these outsiders, and you can tell they're all the outsiders because they're wearing black hoodies and black T-shirts like everybody else. I'm like, way to go. It's like for being that edgy. It's like, but everybody is welcome because you've learned one important thing in hacking, one important thing in security, that you can't have everybody see the same problem the same way. That is not going to work out well for you. You need people from different viewpoints. You need people to see things from a different perspective so you can find the vulnerability. You can find something that you would miss. That's what we need. So I've donated 10 minutes of my time. I told them, talk about whatever you want. The floor is yours. Go for it. It's like, and just have 10 minutes to talk to an audience you may not be able to have access to. So let's get with it.
Hi, my name's Vic Harkness, and Jayson has asked me to talk a little bit about myself. So thank you, Jayson, for giving me the opportunity to be included here. My name's Vic. I've worked in cyber for about 7 or 8 years now. Time flies. I'm the organizer or primary organizer of B-Sides Basingstoke. I'm going to hope you've heard what a B-Sides is, but it's a loosely affiliated, community-driven chain of cybersecurity conferences around the globe. So I run B-Sides Basingstoke. Basingstoke is a small town, well, a town that's near London in the United Kingdom. Tickets are on sale right now, so if you fancy a trip to Basingstoke, please get your ticket now. So aside from my work in cybersecurity, I've been quite active with volunteering in Ukraine. I've been here 21 times now since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022. I'm actually recording currently from Maidan Nezalezhnosti in Kiev. I look about as tired as I am. It's been an exhausting week. On Monday, we had some quite large-scale attacks, spent several hours hiding out. We heard like ballistic missiles zoom directly overhead, very loud. A lot of explosions, gunfire, drones, they really went for it on Monday. And it's been hard work volunteering all week. So I just want to take the time to say the war is still going. Please don't forget about Ukraine. But yeah, I should be able to put my Twitter handle on here. So please drop me a message. I'm at Vic Harkness on Twitter and Blue Sky. If you're interested in learning about what it's like to volunteer in Ukraine, or if you're just interested in volunteering in Ukraine, please drop me a message. There's always stuff to be doing. This week in Kiev, I've been volunteering in a kitchen that makes food for soldiers, but I do all sorts of stuff. I do a lot of fundraising. Back in Lviv, where I'm headed to this afternoon, I volunteer at a place that weaves camouflage nets for soldiers. In a previous life, I've done driving supplies around. I've helped with evacuations. I've helped make trench candles. I've done a little bit of the wide range of things that volunteers have the opportunity to do out in Ukraine. It's been really personally fulfilling. I know there's a bit of a cliche in IT that we need to touch grass, but I think a lot of people could benefit from touching grass. I'm not saying you have to go to Ukraine to do that, but I think in general, please do try and engage with your local community, be that through B-sides or other things that are available in your local area. And it's good to get out of IT and get out of your bubble a little bit, so please do consider engaging in volunteer work, even if it's a local animal shelter, local charities. It doesn't have to be Ukraine. I think just please get out there and do something that isn't computers every now and then. I think it's good for you. I don't really know how to end this. I'm sat at Maidan Nezalezhnosti. I'm quite near. There's this display where basically every flag represents a lost soldier. It grows every time I'm here, which is quite sad to see. You can walk through it and try and find the area for your nationality. I don't really know what else to say. I'm very tired. But thank you, Jayson, for giving me the opportunity to speak to people today. And Slava Ukraini.
That right there is a hacker with a lot more courage than I have sometimes. They volunteered not for the Instagram, not for the likes, and not for the module like, I'm going to go fight. But she'd be just as dead if the missile hit the kitchen. She's risking her life to do the right thing, not just risking a career or an opinion on Twitter of people. That's what it's about. We've become so toxic in our community. These are just a small sampling of some of the comments that I have received on the internet. I think it's adorable. It's really fun. I love the top ones like, I'm available for hire if anybody wants to take this arrogant, out of the loop. I'm like, well, bless your heart. First of all, you got to be paid for it. You can't do that for free. It's like, second of all, I survived my first murder attempt when I was 10. You got to come at me with a little bit something stronger than that, It's like, talk to me. It's like all these comments, our online community has gotten so toxic because we think that it's easier when we're hurt to hurt others. Hurt people. And they just that's how they try to do it. They try to deal with it by trying to make someone else feel like they feel. So I promise you, every comment that you've given me that is like that, I only feel one thing for you. It's pity. I'm sorry that you were hurt like that. Do better. And now we have tolerance where it's a political issue. When did being tolerant become a political statement? And I don't want to get too much into it, but in our politics, that's one of the decisive things. It's like you're labeled now if you believe in diversity or inclusiveness, like that's a bad thing. Like you're tolerant of others. So that's something that you're trying to be political. No, I'm trying to be a human being because that's what it's about. And I love Europe. I got a lot of European friends, and they love going like, well, Jayson, it's like you crazy Americans, but that's not my circus. Those aren't my monkeys. And I'm like, yeah, maybe not. It's like, and there may be plenty of things to laugh at, but remember one thing. You see this picture of Macron with Trump at Bastille Day? Y'all had to go and show them the tanks, didn't you? You had to show them the cool marching soldiers and bands and all the cool Bastille stuff that y'all do. Great job. It's like, because now, there we go, he needed one for his birthday. And if you think that it's like, well, it's not like he's going to start World War III because no one went to his birthday party and install his tanks. I remember one person who started World War II because no one went to his art show. So things like that are concerns. These are your problems. This is no longer isolated by water. We are all connected. And some of the things that happen with one is going to affect all. We need to remember that. But we also need to remember the tolerance. I am so upset with Democrats in the United States. I mean, besides the fact that they love being, defeated for some reason. It's like, I mean, literally, there's not a victory they can have that they won't find a way to screw it up and lose, okay? It's like it's horrible to watch. It's like, but I am telling you, I see people on the left making fun and doing jokes about people that are having problems under Trump that voted for him. Forget about you. That's not what if you didn't like it being done to you, why are you doing it to others? You're just being a hypocrite at that point. We should all understand that we're going to disagree things, but it shouldn't be that kind of hate. And when did compassion become a religious statement? And I don't care what they say in America with the, the religious right and stuff, and trying to act like they're Christian. It's like that's the reason why I included quotes from the Quran, the Old Testament, New Testament, Sanskrit for the Hindu and Buddhist, because I wanted people to realize that America is not founded by just one religion. Everybody counts. All religions matter. Because it should not be about the religion, it should be about the relationship. And that's the only thing that matters. And mostly if you go deep into every single religion on this planet, the main directive is that you are my creations. I have created you. And I've created everything around you. Treat them well like I have treated you. Why can't we get the assignment? Because no one seems to understand it. And one of the things that gets me is these labels. We get a lot of hate in the media when you talk about hackers broke into this or hackers did that. Take out the word hacker and put immigrant. It's like, because when you make people into labels, it makes them easier to hate, which makes it easier to blame them for your failings and misfortune. It's like that leads to believing their lives don't count or matter. And remember what it said in the Old Testament, do not mistreat or oppress a foreigner, for you were foreigners in Egypt. And my favorite part in the New Testament, when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt. So basically, as a Christian, what that means is my personal Lord and Savior that I pray to is a brown-skinned immigrant from the Middle East who was a political refugee and also considered a religious extremist. That's who he is. We sort of forget that part, and we need to remember it more often. It's like if I had to draw it with crayon, maybe the racists would even understand where the Bible took place. It wasn't in Europe. So how does this make Mr. Rogers a hacker? Easy. Mr. Rogers hated children's television. He didn't like it. And as a hacker, he saw a problem and he fixed it. He created a television for children to show them what it was like to be a good human. And the reason why that resonates with me so much is because in my 20s, trust me, you wouldn't have liked me in my 20s. I was a horrible person. I still consider myself a bad person who's just trying to do good. I'm trying to make that conscious effort of being a better person. But when I was little, my childhood was against the Geneva Conventions. I didn't understand what it meant to be a good human. And in my 20s, I decided I was going to be the monster I was raised and trained to be, or I was going to be the one to go after the monsters. And I ran across an episode of Mr. Rogers. And I saw something I've never seen before. People talking nice to one another, people trying to be helpful to one another, people caring about one another. And so I started watching Mr. Rogers so I could learn how to be a human. And that's what I would like everybody else to remember. It's about being a better human. I can't believe this many people stayed. Thank you so much. It's like I greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't walked out by now, thank you. Here's a kitten for gratitude. I definitely appreciate it. I'm definitely thank you for it. I hate being that guy who always goes long, and I'm sorry about that. And I literally do hate it. It's like I just feel like I have to keep making sure that I give that information because I really believe in it. And it's like, and there's not even going to be questions because trust me, I'm going to be here afterwards. I'm going to be here. It's like tomorrow, come up and talk to me. I'm just another hacker who wants to learn and wants to talk and meet other hackers. So please do that. Whew.